an area where you have elevation change, where you go up over. Those are railroad tracks underneath there. It's a bridge that carries you up and over. So there's elevation change where you go at the peak of that hill and you're still accelerating before you get into like turn 7 or turn 12.
Yeah, your vision is definitely a challenge. When we talk about street courses and how narrow it is, there's space enough for the cars. It's just, you know, your eye line, as we're on board now here with Ty Gibbs. This is heading into the left-hander, turn 6. 90 degrees. Now we're going to climb that bridge that you talked about. You see, you can't even really see your braking zone down into 7. You kind of cross the hill. You almost brake before you could see it. Right-hand turn onto Michigan Ave. You see very narrow, very precise. And now all the drivers talk about this being way faster than you think, as now we're on Congress Plaza. Listen in on the throttle. Just babying it. It's really not wide open. Now we're heading basically straight at Jeff Burton. We're going to turn right through turn 11, over to turn 12, and back onto the front stretch, Kim.
And we had high hopes for Parker Clearman coming into this weekend, knowing how good of a road course racer he is. Early issues, though, for the 48 in that team. They likely will have to change an engine after qualifying. They came to the garage this morning. It had leaked overnight. When they fired up the car, the team told me water shot out of the exhaust. So right now, they're going to try and keep them on track. They're going to try and qualify because, remember, they get their pit stall selection for Pocono next week, which is a big deal. But I got word from crew chief Patrick Donahue, the likelihood that they are changing an engine after qualifying is very high.
Good, we got a spin already in turn 1. That's the 53. Kenko Miura out of Tokyo, Japan. Kenko, the 44-year-old. That was the 2018 NASCAR Whelen Euro Series Challenger Trophy winner. Gets it straightened back out, and he'll head back around and towards the museum there as he's headed toward you, Dylan.
So you wonder if the slow car in front of him didn't catch him off guard, right? You see the first car kind of come in, the 14, off pace, and we talked about that vision, Rick, and I just think Castro being off pace in that 14 caught the 53 off guard, maybe, you know, almost shocked him a little bit, got on the rear brakes, got it spun around. Doesn't look like there's a lot of damage. Most important thing now with 45 or 43 minutes left is just track time. Just try to get as many laps as you can and find a rhythm.
There's 35 of Brad Perez.
Well, and this is the one that kind of scares you. That's a great position because that's driver's right. As we see now, the red is out. But I think that's your biggest fear, right? So if you put him, say, driver's left over there near corner exit, it's really a blind corner. While there are at least a couple spotters per
team. It sputtered coming out of 1, and no matter what, I just kept trying to give it power, but I think there's still fuel coming in. I saw the fuel pressure drop.
So if he's having a fuel pressure, that's mechanical, right? He absolutely has fuel on board with only a couple laps into practice. So a mechanical issue will have to diagnose. But what I was saying with 2 spotters, you know, they're going to help you in certain areas, but no one can see the entire racetrack unless you're lucky enough maybe to spot from this drone. That'd be great if you could just follow my car around.
And again, Brad